This is Anne Marie Price with Realty Executives in the Villages, bringing you another episode of the Villages Uncovered. Today, we are going to discuss insurance here in the Villages, Florida, and of course, update you on the last 7 days in my weekly marketing report. Okay, so here we go. Understanding home insurance in the Villages, Florida. If you're thinking about buying a home in the Villages, Florida, you're probably starting to hear a lot about insurance. And yes, there's definitely more to it here than in many other parts of the country. So let's break it down and make it easy to understand. First, what types of insurance should you know about? 1, dwelling insurance or homeowner's insurance. This is your standard policy and it covers the structure of your home in case of fire, theft, or certain types of water damage. In Florida, especially in the Villages, most policies also cover wind, but hurricanes may have a separate deductible. So please be sure to ask about that. 2, flood insurance. Even though we're not on the coast, the Villages is still in Florida, and flood zones do exist. Standard homeowners policies do not cover flooding in your home if it is in a high-risk area. Or if you just want peace of mind, you may need a separate flood policy through FEMA or a private carrier. 3, sinkhole insurance. Yep, we have to talk about sinkholes here in Florida. It's one of the few states where this is a real consideration. Most policies cover catastrophic ground collapse, but that's different from general sinkhole activity. If you want full sinkhole coverage, make sure you specifically ask for it. Usually, it comes with an additional cost. 4, golf cart insurance. This is the Villages. We ride in golf carts, more than cars mostly. If your golf cart is just for leisure on private roads, it might be covered under your homeowner's insurance policy. But if you plan to take it on public roads, which is super common here, you'll likely need a separate golf cart insurance policy, just like a car. Now, let's talk about hidden requirements, roofs and plumbing. Big one here. Many insurance companies now require that roofs be replaced well before their expected lifespan, especially if they are shingle. Even if it's in great shape, if your roof is over 15 years old, you might have trouble getting coverage or renewing the existing policy. And here's one that most folks don't expect. Your water heater, plumbing, or even electrical system might need to be updated before they'll issue a policy, or they may exclude water damage entirely. That's a big deal, especially for resale homes. So what's it gonna cost? As of 2025, for a standard single-family home in the Villages, homeowners insurance runs around $1,800 to $3,000 per year, depending on the age of the roof, updates, and location. Flood insurance starts around $500 per year for low-risk zones, but can go much higher in higher-risk areas. Sinkhole insurance is usually an add-on, think around $300 to $600 a year. Golf cart insurance is very reasonable, usually $100 to $300 a year, depending on use and coverage limits. Of course, prices can change, and these are just ballpark figures. What's not covered? Most people are surprised to learn that these common things are not covered unless you're specifically adding them. Flooding, again, it's always separate. Water and tear or maintenance issues, mold or termite damage, damage caused by neglect or delayed repairs, and some policies exclude screen enclosures, fences, or sheds, so always check. How do I find an insurance agent? Good question. In Florida, especially the Villages, it's best to work with a local independent insurance broker. Someone who can shop multiple carriers and understands the unique challenges of insuring homes here, okay? It is an important disclosure right here, right now. Just a quick heads up, I am not a licensed insurance agent, so I always recommend speaking directly with a licensed professional for specific advice and quotes, but I can guide you toward the right questions and help you plan ahead during your home search. Final thoughts? Insurance in Florida is a little more complicated, but it is manageable, especially when you know what to expect. Planning ahead with inspections, roof age, and plumbing updates can save you a lot of time and money down the line. And remember, the right agent and the right team can make all the difference. Hey there, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning into the first part of that segment here of the Villages Uncovered. It was great sharing some information on insurance because it's one of those things as you're researching moving here to the Villages, Florida, that obviously goes hand in hand with buying a new home. So if you have any questions or I can help direct you in any way to some of the vendors that I have worked with in the past, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to give that direction. Onward to the 7-day market report. So the 7-day market report here for me does include all of the areas from the Spanish Springs and Orange Blossom area all the way through basically 44. Because I do know some folks use different spaces within the villages for their numbers, and I want to make sure I represent that correctly. So right now, this week, I'm seeing a lot of red. I guess in the words of the Jeffersons, we're moving on up, right? But things are very, very balanced at the moment, as you're going to see through some of the numbers I'm about to share. The number of homes for sale has remained pretty consistent for the last probably 3 or 4 months now. We're at 607 homes on MLS on the market currently. New listings just went down by like a couple of homes. We went down to 40 new listings this week. Price increases, they went up to 4. So, we don't often see a price increase, but we're starting to see some of that happen. Right now, we, of course, all are aware that interest rates went down. With interest rates going down, homes are more affordable. So you may see some changes in regards to price per square foot. Because homes are more affordable, they may increase. We just don't know. We have to wait and see. Price decreases right now are at 70. Okay. So we've had 70 homes where their prices have decreased since their listings. Average days on market is at 82. This is a little higher than it has been the last couple of weeks. I think it's just a matter of timing, really. And honestly, people waiting to see what's going to happen with interest rates. So we could see a whole different thing in next week's report and weeks after that. So wait and see, right? Our original listing price average is at $304,900. That is up a little bit. What's important, of course, is to also look at the average sold price average, which is also up a little bit to $278,000. So the difference between the 278 and 304, of course, is pretty nominal. So as you're looking at making offers and so on, keep that in mind because the listing prices are starting to be pretty close on to point in terms of making those offers, okay? We've got 10 homes back on the market. We have 32 homes sold in the last 7 days. We have 9 expired listings, and we have 39 pending listings, okay? And I always like to take these 3 numbers and kind of go boom, boom, and boom. So you got new listings at 40, you've got sold at 32, and pending at 39. So as you can see that I keep saying balance, balance, balance. We've got as much coming in as we have going out. People are moving their homes, they're selling, things are doing very well. Our average price per square foot right now is at $242 per square foot. So that is your 7-day market report for the Villages, Florida. I thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this. And if you have questions or comments, please feel free to subscribe, and ask your questions below. I'd be delighted to get back to you and answer any questions that you might have. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you again next week.